Let's get the show on the road.
Hello, Eric. It's Monday morning.
Hello,
and we're
Rex.
starting without Joe Dog Hallam because you're jealous. You don't like when we start without you, so you're now putting this on Joe. So Joe's Wi-Fi sucks, everybody.
Yeah, if Joe didn't have shitty Wi-Fi, it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, he had to reboot. He had to delete cookies, whatever he does, and he's coming back in a few minutes. We have a guest today, PD Skills, and pretty soon he'll be here to tell you about his podcast because I can't remember the links right now, so I'm going to pretend like I know but I don't know, and Eric's holding his headphones off of his ears because it's hurting his baby ears, my voice. Okay, Eric, you know what the problem is? I'll tell you right now what part of the problem
No,
is.
it's fixed now. It's fixed. It's fixed.
There's something going on your end. That's all I'm going to say.
No, it's not.
How could it be my end? This is all
It's
brand
so
new professional equipment.
it's not only is it loud, but it's distorted. It's like you've taken over the Godrich Wi-Fi.
No, it's not possible.
Well, now it's fine. I don't know. Listen, if people listen back to it and it's fine, I don't care. I'll put up with it for the 10 seconds that it happens when you first start flapping your gums.
Yeah, it says everything is completely normal. My levels are normal. It's set to auto adjust the microphone, so nothing's going to be horribly out of whack. But also, your headphones don't have a volume adjustment on them, whereas mine do. So if I turn mine all the way up to max volume, yes, it's very loud in my ears right now. But if I turn it down,
but it's not just loud. It's like distortion from the microphone. That's what it sounds like.
I don't know how that would be possible.
I'm sure it's on my end. Everything is my fault, Rex. I get it. You're the professional. You have the board. I just have this microphone plugged into my laptop. You have a big screen that you look at. It's I get it. It's fine. Joe Doc has shitty Wi-Fi. You're the only professional one here on the podcast. It's fine.
Okay, how is that? Is that better for you?
All the gets. It was fine before.
Is that better for your friggin' baby ears? I turned it down a little bit. My levels are right there. And so anyways, this has been a great start to the show without Joe Dog.
Well, hey, Rex Atkins won some money at the end of last week there in poker on Kingdom's stream.
That I did.
You were killing it.
You know what? I found with those poker games, it's kind of like just stealing money from kids. They're a lovely bunch of guys, but I mean, they're just and then my favorite was there was a gentleman in the room who's friends with Kingdom who was getting a little upset. He wasn't being
Ron.
a great. Yeah, I like the guy, but he wasn't being a great sport during that game. You could tell he was getting to him a little bit, and it got to the point where
he's a gambler. He's a gambler, and he wins.
Yeah, and it got to the point where if I won a hand and he seen what I had, he would start bitching that, oh, why would you even be calling earlier in the flop? He's like, I wouldn't even have called on that. And it's like, well, dude, like maybe that's why your chips are dwindling and mine are, are high. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you got to risk it to get the biscuit, right? Like you can't just sit there all night folding every hand that's not, to your liking, because you never know.
That's how you know the people that play like that. That's how you know they have a good hand. They just constantly fold, and then all of a sudden they bet, and you're like, okay, fuck this guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's part of the strategy is figuring out also, who's gonna I know who's gonna call and who's not.
And then Thursday, that was the first time we did when you were out of chips and you went to the side, you could see the full table. You could see everybody's hand. And as cool as it was to see how people are betting, I don't like it.
No, I don't like that.
I don't like that. I could see how people were betting with the hands that they had.
Well, as being a winner myself, I never got to experience that because I was never out. So
I was three times.
I didn't like how everyone could see how I play all the time. But at the same time, I don't think the table is extremely experienced. So I don't think they're going to remember. It's so hard to remember every single person the way they play with a 10-person table.
Even when I was out, though, you were getting crazy hands. Like you had a lot of ace king offsuit. Like it was insane how good your cards were.
I was getting a lot of good hands Thursday, but also I was getting a lot of especially when you guys were out watching, that was later in the game where I slowed down. And I was getting a lot of great hands that I wasn't able to use. That's what sucked. I had a lot of high cards and stuff, a lot of great pairs and stuff that just I had to keep folding because I was like, I'm already in the lead. I'm not going to just start screwing up now. And I had to get rid of a lot of them, which sucked. But it was, that was that was probably the closest out of those two games. I've only played those 2 weeks, but where there was a chance I could have knocked everybody out at some point after the buy-ins were over because everyone else was pretty low, and I could have taken the whole table, which would have been sweet.
Yeah, I think if we didn't cap it at midnight, I think it would have come down to like either you or Lenny or you and Kingdom.
Yeah, it would have been cool to really get it down by midnight to like 2 or 3 guys right at the end there.
Yeah,
but either way, it's cool. $200 on Thursday, so that was nice. I'm gonna start just including this on my income, I guess. Poker with Kingdom. It's not bad. 2 weeks with a simple $25 buy-in. Never had to rebuy in yet, and I've made somewhere just around $300, I think, in 2 weeks, that's not bad for a friendly game with friends.
Yeah, so I've played 3 times, and I've lost. Well, the one time I went in after I was already out, I went in for all in with Ron. We went up against each other, so I ended up losing 125 that night instead of 75. But the other 2 times, 75 each. So yeah, I'm down 375. It's fine.
See, I think you're too addicted to gambling.
275. Yeah, I am addicted to gambling. I love it.
You're too but the problem is your addiction to gambling is way stronger than your skill in poker now. Like, because now you're just because technically you've lost $75 3 weeks in a row, not including the side bets.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, that's like I'm not a mathematician or nothing, but that's like $225.
Not including the side bets. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking
275 in 3 weeks.
You've lost as much as I've made.
Yeah. Well, but it's fine. These things happen.
Eric, we could be owning those tables, you realize.
Listen, I'm relying on cryptocurrency right now to make me money.
Are you Dogecoin or something? What are you in?
No, Dogecoin. No, that stock dropped after Elon Musk went on Saturday Night Live.
It'll go back up though, right? That's just because the same thing happened when he went on Rogan. All his stuff dropped and then it came back up.
I'm sure it probably will come back up. They were trying to get it to $1 and it was at 65 cents. When I wanted to get into it, it was at 5 cents. And I'm pretty sure Lenny bought in.
My buddy bought it. He's up to like $80,000. I don't know what his investment was, but he sent me his thing. It's like $84,000 he has in his account. That's
insane.
Yeah.
No, I'm in on Ethereum and I might get in on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's so like it fluctuates so quick from like it seems like it's really tough for it to get over 70,000. I'm sure it will eventually. And the one time it was at 72, it dropped down to 68,000 like 2 days later. So but when Dogecoin dropped after Saturday Night Live, Ethereum went up 11%. So I'm making money on that.
Joe Dog Hallam has restarted his laptop.
Yeah.
He was freaking out in our group chat, sending messages nonstop.
Now what's happening?
He's got it looks like tinfoil maybe on top of it.
What's going on here, Joe Dog?
Oh, fuck. My thing was trying to fucking restart and fucking computer here was trying to load and couldn't get it going. But I think is it Goddardgy now or what are we?
It's not as Goddardgy, no.
Good. I restarted. What did I miss? What were you guys talking about?
Oh, absolutely nothing of meaning at all. Just cryptocurrency and playing poker.
And Eric being addicted to gambling.
Well, we were talking about Kingdom's poker games and how 3 weeks in a row Eric has used all his buy-ins, so $75 a night that he's lost. And then also I played 2 weeks in a row, and like last week I cashed out around $100, and the week before this week I cashed out at like $200. So we're just wondering like what, maybe he's got to look at how he's playing the game and not so much just be addicted to the gambling part. Like I think it's all or nothing with Eric.
It is all or nothing. You got to bet big to win big, Rex.
Apparently not.
Got PD Skills over here, ladies.
PD Skills, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, sorry.
Good brother morning, gentlemen.
Good brother morning. Yeah, sorry for the delay. We were just talking about online gambling and other crippling addictions.
Yeah,
that
everybody's got one or two.
Yeah, as he hits. You can't see at home, folks. But,
So I've determined that Good Brother Morning officially runs on pothead time. You guys were exactly the amount of time late that it takes to smoke 2 joints.
Yeah, that's that makes sense.
Normally I would agree with it, but in this case, it was actually the only like straight edge guy on the podcast, which was Joe Dog. He's a half hour late showing up, and then his laptop had to be restarted. He's on Godrich Wi-Fi.
It was freaking out. Yeah, my
Hey,
laptop.
I
was,
mean, it's all good. I mean, things like that happen. I mean, I love you guys, but the last time a fat person put me on delay, they told me I was in lockdown. So,
oh goodness. Do you get into the edibles and stuff too, there, Petey?
I get into everything. Wade Allen was actually just asking me that the other night, and my buddy actually has a edibles company online, Bjorn's Bites and Bombs. And for my birthday, he made us a cherry cheesecake with 5,000 milligrams in it.
Oh my God.
5,000?
I ate a third of the pie. That is certified.
Yeah, I'm not good at math here, but what
divide 5,000 by 3.
Yeah, that's
a lot.
It equals a rough morning, a bad brother morning.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that would not be good.
So like if you
would
had
be paranoid as hell.
Yeah. So if you had like 5 or 6, gummies or something, you wouldn't even know
that doesn't even scratch the surface. Basically, what I had in that pie is the equivalent of 10 bags of gummies.
Yeah, like most of the gummies I do are under 70 mil, like 70 and under.
Yeah,
usually 30 or 40.
Yeah, I feel like a loser. I just took one that was 15 milligrams.
That's okay. There's probably things you could take 1,000 of that one of me would end up on the floor. So I mean,
well, to be fair, Eric,
I was gonna fave it, but yep.
You always end up on the floor. It's just at what point.
Yeah, but it's a lot into the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I laugh because I do keep up with the show. I try and support anybody I can in Ontario right now, trying to do anything. And I have a good fucking laugh because every time that Eric takes a fucking edible, he's toast.
Yeah, was it you that sent me the message? Maybe it was you that you sent me every time he does edibles. It's like the first time he does edibles.
Yes, absolutely, that was me.
That's amazing.
I like what happened.
You're okay, Joe. You're still here. You're with us, buddy.
You're with us. You're good.
Oh, I like what he does is no breath laugh when you run out of. But he's go.
Yeah, no, his face gets locked. He's like stuck. He can't. You think he's frozen, but he's just stuck on a laugh.
Good. I like your self promotion of the shirts behind you there.
Oh,
well,
it's good.
It's a lot more attractive than either just a green cloth or the dresser and bullshit that hides behind it, right? So I mean, gonna do the show. Got to get some sort of promotion in.
That's true.
And when we started the show, Eric did it from his bed every day. I didn't know because he had a background of a different city.
Yeah. Didn't you have the one show there you were running late and you were like running from the phone on like till you could get home, Rex?
Oh yeah, I've done that a few times, I think. Maybe it was this or the black ball, but yeah, I've been on the phone quite a few times. Walking through my front door.
Jeez.
Speaking of that, when's the big fight, brother?
Oh, you tell
May
me.
16th, I think, isn't it?
Everyone else knows more than I do.
I don't know. I thought you would welcome it because, like, I heard you on the show saying you wanted to fight any wrestler in Ontario, and and
now all of a sudden,
the door.
Yeah, Pretty Ricky steps up, and Rex knows nothing about it now.
Yeah, that's because he didn't book me. He started this thing and didn't tell anyone. Well, he told everyone but me, and so I find out from Holden Albright. Here's the deal. I said before I wanted to do it for money, like on Patreon. Put it on Patreon, get subscribers over there, and he's just like, nope, we're doing it on my YouTube channel for free. I'm showing up to your house. And he refused to call it a fight. He doesn't call it a fight. He just says he's coming to my front yard to beat me up. And that's how he promotes it.
Maybe he'll throw literal beets. Like he'll have vegetables and throw.
And you're doing a concert, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I was hoping he'd be more upset.
Fucking wipe the floor with him?
Yeah, but then I'm not gonna.
I got you as a heavy favorite. Like I'm only putting my buddy Wildy just in case there's money.
Yeah, no, he's not going to win the fight, but I mean, as far as doing a concert on his front lawn, I don't know. What am I going to do? Get Jesse Bieber and go up there and make him sing Justin Bieber songs?
Wow.
Sure. Why not?
He can sing other songs, not just Justin Bieber.
Oh, I just realized that's the gimmick.
Oh my God.
Are you?
I'm just kidding. I just want to fit in with the other hi guys.
You almost made me say the R word on here.
What, Rickman? Rickman, it's the same thing. But anyway, yeah. Oh, I talked to him today too. PD, do you know Chris Thorne?
I do not know Chris Thorne personally. I obviously know who he is. I wrestled a lot of shows with his old partner there. I think he's
CK?
Savage now, but yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, I know. I talked to Frank today about coming on this week, and he might join us next week. He says he's too busy because of things going on this week, but he's going to join us. So
Too busy doing what? Everything's closed.
He big league you. There's nothing to do right now.
I know he big leagues me all the time, and it's, you know what? I actually blame Pretty Ricky for this because they had him on and they just try to make him look stupid, and now I think he's scared to do podcasts.
Well,
Yeah,
you
but you
Frank
gotta know
called
your
him, though,
audience.
that's-
Like that's a different type of show. Like you don't go on that show trying to have a fucking intelligent conversation.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
I was
not
really
wrong.
hoping to get myself over. I had some stuff to plug, and they just fucking threw shit everywhere.
Yeah, that's what they do. And then if you do cut them off, they just kick you off the show.
Or mute you, yeah, or mute you. Yeah.
So what did you want to get over? Put it over here. Is it your PD Skills podcast?
Yeah, you just said
Well,
Jerry
yeah, I
Thorne,
mean,
or-
yeah, I did start the podcast recently. I mean, it's gotten to the point where everybody's got a podcast, it seems. But
You waited a
know,
while.
Yeah,
You weren't
know what? I
one of
did
the
wait a
bandwagon
while,
guys right at the beginning. You
'cause,
waited almost a year.
I'm not a COVID denier, but I am a fucking bright light like wisher, and I like for the longest time I was like, nah, it'll be over by April. It'll be over by.
You were very
July.
optimistic.
Yeah, like we'll be together by Christmas, and then it's like, you know what? Like, I fucking miss people, and I want to get in on the action.
Also, you're more creative than us because when we post it, it's just the same name all the time. But you have like little tags for everybody that you have on. Like you had old school, and it was kicking it old school.
Yeah. I try to like keep a theme to it. I find a lot of projects, including my own fucking professional wrestling career. A lot of times I've done half-ass, and I found the pandemic's been a great time to reflect and go. Not a lot of time left on the clock. 37 is coming up, and time to stop half-assing things. And when you put things together well and get the best presentation I can out there, because I mean, coming out of all this bullshit, I mean, people are going to be looking for the most familiar faces, people that aren't going to half-ass it. So it's kind of one of those from here on out. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to the gym and fucking working out every day. I mean, I'm still only lifting an ounce a week or so, but aside from that, like, I mean, as far as the presentation, I'm really trying to put it in there.
0.5 grams at a time.
You got it. Well, I mean, that's a light day. That's a warm-up rep.
When he had Tyler Hill on, it was called Piece of Shit Tyler Hill.
Yes, that's a reference to the No Ring North show where he ran over Tyler Arrow, put him in a body bag, and he waved a knife at everybody. So
Yeah,
I just
actually,
started calling him a piece of shit, and it became synonymous with anything I did online for a while.
Tyler sent me that whole match with Tyler Arrow and the body bag thing. That's some of the best work I've ever seen him do, to be honest.
Yeah, he's very it was very intense.
Yeah.
And like in anything that I'd seen Arrow in outside of that was very different. So it was really cool to see two guys that I didn't know would mesh well together have something so realistic where like even I was like, man, like he is a piece of shit. Like that's how that started. I was like, he's a believable piece of shit. So I shall put him over as such.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tyler's not. I've worked with Tyler a handful of times, and I've always found that he's very easy to work with, despite what people might say about him. I think he's always been easy to work. And I think he actually has a lot of talent and a lot of good instinct. I just think that most wrestling shows that he joins up with aren't a good fit for him. Like that's where that No Ring North or like Death Proof is a better fit for him because
he's fantastic in Death Proof. He's fantastic in No Ring North. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people think he's just a hardcore guy. Like he's just.
He's not though. He's so
not.
athletic. It's ridiculous.
That's what I'm trying to say, Eric.
Yeah,
is that he's not,
very athletic. Like I'm a heavy package for being under 6 foot, and like he's jackhammered me. He's throwing me around with ease. And I've been in the ring with some guys that should be able to throw me around with ease and can't, even obviously with the assist.
Yeah, like what Eric was saying. Great athlete. Tyler's a great athlete, and I just said that to piss off Joe.
Fuck you guys. I didn't even get to finish. I was trying to put him over.
I've said it for years because my like back in the day when I first met Tyler, the issue was he could do any move. He could do moonsaults. He could do 450s, all that. but he never had the psychology to put the match together and didn't want to listen. But he's so much different now. Like I want to, when everything comes back, I want to work with him because
I've worked with him
heads and tails above what he used to be.
You guys ever notice we only put over people who aren't guests?
That's right. And he's not coming on the show.
As soon as he does come on, we would
he
just
is a
shit
piece
on
of
him.
shit.
We just shit on him for 30 minutes.
No,
I didn't say I have great conversations or want to hang out with the guy. I said he's all right to work with in the ring.
No, what I'm saying,
Very
like,
athletic.
the only time we put our guests over is when they're not, like, if like we're having them on next week or something, and then we're like, yeah, and then when
that's
they're on,
how podcasts work, I'm pretty sure.
But I like him overall. He's not a pen and paper guy. Like, I don't like to, write everything down. Like, obviously there's something to get over, but like I like to go out there and throw, and he was a good guy to do that with.
Yeah, so you would rather go out to the ring and just call the match like old school
absolutely.
style. Yeah.
And you know what? And some of the best matches I had when I was younger, I felt were the ones where I had somewhere senior to me, calling those matches. And I find now that I unfortunately have gotten to an older age, I find myself calling some of them, and I just prefer that call it style. Like, obviously there's some stuff planned, but like the ability to call it and read the crowd's like a big deal.
Yeah, actually, we don't normally do like interviewee type stuff, but yeah, what's your origin story? I don't actually know where you came from.
I don't even know how old you were when you started.
So I started professionally 2004.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I trained a little bit. Like, I grew up in Windsor. Surprisingly, I didn't go to the Can-Am school at the time. I actually trained a little bit with Shooter Sean Brown.
Nice, that's cool.
I know him and his brother really well, Danger Boy.
Yeah,
yeah.
I did a few sessions with them, and after a few sessions, they started talking, put me on shows and that. And admittedly, an opportunity with a company called PWX came up. Before I was probably ready. And I mean, that's no secret to a lot of people. And I learned a lot on the way, kind of touch and go. I actually lived in a position where the ring was stored in a barn in our backyard. So anytime there was a draw or someone good coming to town, it was, like, come over to the barn. Or when Jay McDonald built that gym, it was, hey, get them into the gym. And that, I kind of learned that way through seminars and, like private sessions. I had a really shitty beginning, and that's where I come from.
Yeah, that's the same story as me. I had a shitty beginning, and but
that's not a terrible way to learn, though.
No.
If you can get the basics and then do seminars and learn on the road.
I mean,
like
obviously I thought I was the shit earlier than I should have, because I mean, that fucking, all those great stories that we don't like to talk about because we're ashamed about our past before we like turned old enough to train. But so we all come in thinking we're the shit at that age and we're ready. And I found out the hard way that I wasn't. It wasn't until I got guys like Diener slowing me the fuck down and teaching me how to get the same thing out of a punch that I used to get out of some sort of flipping high spot.
Now, is PWX, did that turn into CCW? Is that the same thing?
Yes, yeah, that's the same one.
Okay, yeah. Jay McDonald was the promoter back in the day. Okay.
Yeah, he was the promoter back in the day.
I remember PWX. I never worked there.
I did.
You worked at PWX?
There was like a huge like conflict between PWA and PWX. How were you on that show?
Nah, that was our first show in Goderich was PWX, and
PD
Skills helped set the ring up. I remember that he helped set the ring up and ran a whole different.
Yeah, I was there for the first Goderich show because it was a big tour with the Cambridge show, the Goderich show, and Tilsonburg.
Yeah,
it was a triple shot weekend. So like basically anybody that came for the weekend, especially a lot of younger guys. And that was my first 2 years. So, I mean, obviously I was there fucking paying my dues, setting up rings. Yeah. The Goderich night, I did a little thing in the ring, I think afterwards, just to like help one of them out or something, like out of the ring, or like the recovery. It was like just on the outside of the ring as one of them recovered, like helped them out. Oh. It might not have even got on camera. I don't even know. You know what I mean?
You mentioned Cambridge. Is that why PWA had an issue? Were they running on the same turf? Is that the problem?
I don't know what the story was.
PWA and PWX.
Joe knows what the story
why was there heat between those two?
You gonna beat around the bush, or you want me to lay it out?
I think that Jay McDonald might have been hot that like Eddie and Jeff and I were maybe going to do our own thing and take some of our like run our own shows because we had kind of worked with him, and then I think something happened. You know how Eddie was back. Eddie was way different back in the now.
Fuck it. Let's give it to him, Joe.
Yeah.
All right.
So
let's get it from the worker that didn't really have a stake. So there was the shows. That actual triple shot weekend was the birth of Jay McDonald letting other people run shows under the PWX name.
Right.
Eddie started running a couple shows. Jeff, Eddie and Jeff collaboratively in their respective cities where they had a pop there. And, things started off with a hitch. Then once they got that wave, and I mean, it's not like they were like, we're set out to, we're going to steal this. And no, they had a wave going and it was a different vibe. They had different visions than Jay McDonald had. So they rode that wave and they started PWA.
We were also in talks with GLCW out of Brantford. So like GLCW and PWA were kind of like merging at the same time. So it was like, well, let's get away from PWX. We'll start our own thing. We'll talk to the GLCW guys and we'll kind of merge with them because they were.
Was that Great Lakes?
Yeah,
Great Lakes. Was that Scott Chase?
Yeah, Scott Chase.
Yeah, okay. I remember this briefly because I just started at this point when this was all happening.
Yeah, like we would pump their shows. Like I remember the first or second time I ever rang announce, I was like, Scott Chase handed me a paper and it was like, here, pump this show. And I was like, oh, okay. So then it was like, hey, Great Lakes Championship Wrestling will be running.
Hold on. Did you just say rang announce?
I don't know how else to say it past tense.
Ring announced.
Ring announced.
Yeah, you're not doing past tense of ring like a phone. It's a wrestling ring. There's no past tense of wrestling ring.
Hey, you the past tense is the announcement that you made.
Rang announced.
Words are hard.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. Word are hard.
On the drama portion of it, though, like so at that point, Jay McDonald was obviously sour grapes. There was a lot of heat between the two. Whether it's true or not, Jay McDonald had when Eddie was working without the proper papers in place at the time because it was during the OAC era. So Jay McDonald was showing up at the shows with his camera, sitting in the crowd, and he got fucking kicked out of one of the shows and made a big fucking scene in front of everybody.
And I went out.
Yeah,
nobody.
So I mean, that's
were
public
you there?
record.
Were you there for that?
No, it's public record. That shit was on YouTube.
I just because I went out, like walked in the snow, and I was like, hey man, like I don't know what the hell just happened because I
Wait a minute. Was this the YouTube thing where Jay McDonald brought Eddie back in to win the belt?
Wait.
No, I got that. Hold on. I got that.
Okay.
That's part of it.
Yeah,
okay.
Because what happened?
What a good story that is.
Apparently, Jay McDonald called the Ontario Athletic Commission and said that we weren't working with papers. But if anybody knows Jeff Black doesn't do anything without the proper shit.
By the fucking
all
book,
of his
I believe
shit,
that.
Every single one of his ducks are in a row, motherfucker. Like he doesn't take a shit.
He does things the right way.
He doesn't take a shit without the right permit.
There was unless it's behind a dumpster at a Wendy's.
So I mean, Eddie might be a little different. Maybe he's like, fuck it, we'll have to strap together. Way to go. But Jeff, nah. So there was no proof that we weren't running without shit. But anyway.
So I mean that caused drama. It went back and forth for a while. And then this is what Eric was alluding to. They quote unquote buried the hatchet. So he booked Eddie for the next show. And actually at the time, this was something that I even got really hot because like PWX was the first place I worked. Obviously, it was a pet project. That X division was like my fucking baby at the time, like looking back on it. And Eddie was scheduled to win the title. And they had like a 24/7 gimmick going at the time. And Eddie becomes a champion, and it was Derek Wilde, I believe, that came out to challenge him. And Eddie just fucking laid down unplanned. Got up, fuck you, Jay McDonald, fuck PWX, and he walked out the fucking back door.
On a microphone.
Yeah, on the microphone.
He got a microphone, and the sound people didn't realize it was a shoot, and they thought it was a promo, and he said, fuck you, Jay McDonald. Payback's a bitch. And
yes, that's what it was. Payback's a bitch. Yeah.
But he started so sincere. Like he was like, sometimes in this business and in life, you do things that you regret. And like he was going into the story and he's like, but I don't regret this. Fuck you, Jay McDonald. I watched that on YouTube. I was like, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen.
A fun fact about that. Eddie Osborne didn't have a license until 2019 or something. So at the time, he had to have Jesse Jones or somebody was out back with all of
Paul Wright
with all of their shit packed in the
car.
Come on. So then he goes, Payback's a bitch, throws them out, and then has to run to his getaway driver.
I think Iliad was with them too. I think that name.
Maybe, that would make sense.
Or at least was in the crowd. Yeah.
So then, so before that, Jay McDonald showed up at the show in Niagara Falls, and then Geza went out, and they were like, just get out or whatever. But I personally went out during that. I was like, hey man, I don't know what just happened. And he's like, hey, if you ever want to have some fun, come to PWX. And I was like, well, I don't know. I got to get some more info here, but I just want to make sure there was no heat between Jay McDonald and I saw.
And I mean, that's all high school shit at this point. It's so
old.
And
And Chaos was with them, and I saw Chaos somewhere a few years ago, and I was like, holy shit, like he was the shit. He was doing crazy pile drivers through tables and stuff. And anyway,
he does a podcast now. Not gonna plug it because I mean, fuck Chaos forever.
Okay. Not a fan. You're not a fan?
I don't even know who he is, but fuck you, Chaos.
Actually, him and his buddy that he does, like a mutual friend of ours, they do a podcast together, and they were on some dude's podcast because it was literally like the podcasters podcast week or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, similar to this.
I was gonna say this is
something similar to this, but
all these shows are
one
just
of them was like,
podcasters.
They were talking about similarly to this. Other people that had shown, they're like, oh, a guy we know, PD Skills, is doing a new show, and for the record, it is the most xenophobic, homophobic show on Spotify.
Wow.
I actually take great comfort in knowing that somebody would say that. Like, if I were you, I'd be like,
I actually
okay,
no, like it's, I knew it was a joke, and they actually told me about it before it aired, and I was like, that's cool. I'll take the listens either way. Like, I mean, if some racist tunes in and he's disappointed, I'm like, oh well. I'm glad I wasted your fucking time.
I honestly, that's the reputation I wanted when I started this. I didn't tell Joe Dog this, but I wanted to be the most offensive like wrestling podcast there is. Now he's like, now it all makes sense.
There's some borderline shows.
Yeah.
I mean, I listen. I'm down for it too. It's just crazy that in the last couple of years, everything's been off the tape. Like, can't joke about anything.
Everything is offensive now.
I don't want. That's
what makes it so much better because now you can say the most like soft thing.
I know,
and it seems so offensive, and you're getting big pops for it because you make the heavy rape championship of the world, and people are losing their minds about it.
And this is one of those episodes I was referencing.
Yeah,
I got so many funny jokes that are just jokes. I don't feel that way about whatever.
Yeah, I get it. And those happen all the time. I mean, dark humor is not humor for everybody,
right?
It's the best kind of humor, though.
Oh, absolutely. I 100% agree. I love dark humor. I really love offensive jokes, but I get that they'll make people feel a certain way, and it's a shame that things get taken out of context a lot.
I got thinking that like maybe what if would we be like in the clear if I said like, hey, so I was talking to my Uncle Mike today, and he's really racist, and he said. And then I say the joke, but I say I disagree with that view. But my Uncle Mike is the one that said it.
Had you not told this story, possibly,
right?
But
now everybody knows you don't have an Uncle Mike, and he didn't say anything.
Yeah, this is just a joke you thought of.
Right.
Like I almost dropped a joke. I think it might have been on
like,
Kingdom's
because that's like saying, okay, I
can.
This is a black joke I heard from a black guy. That's the same thing. Like,
okay.
My rape joke's okay because I was told it by a rapist. No.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? No, it was the episode we did with Kingdom that he was talking about the vaccine and everything and how like he's trying to label me all the time as like this Joe Rogan disciple, anti-vaxxer, anti-masker.
Okay.
That's not me at all. So when he was talking, I almost said it and I didn't because I didn't want him to get mad. But I was like, yeah, like I look at the vaccine the same way I'm sure white women look at black dick. I'm a little scared of it, but I still want it inside of me. And I didn't have the balls to pull the trigger.
Yeah, but he's gonna listen to this, so you just pulled the trigger.
Okay. No, I'd rather not have the instant yelling at my face. I'd rather get a text message tomorrow
at 4:30 in the morning. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Rather get the heat by text.
Yeah.
So like,
No.
so you're saying my uncle thing there? Like, can I tell? Hey, my uncle told me a joke or not? You don't think that's?
I don't
I
think
don't
you
know.
can do it.
I mean, you can. I mean,
you
read
should.
your audience.
Yeah.
Just let us be like, Joe, come on. And
I'll-
And I'll be like,
laugh.
it wasn't me. It
I'll
wasn't me.
laugh
That's right.
'cause nothing.
Don't write it
offends
down
me,
in advance.
so-
You got to call your spot. Read your audience.
Yeah.
So like,
Don't
this is
come
what
in with that as your only gun.
my little guy was like 5 years old and he was playing trucks and he was like, one was a tow truck and he was driving his little trucks and he goes, we got to make sure to get this fucking car out of here. And I said, hey, I was like, you can't swear. And he goes, it wasn't me. It was the tow truck driver. Like, it doesn't. I was like, dude, you are the you are the puppet master of the tow truck.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know where that, it'd be nice to have that out.
That
Like,
means
hey,
you
that's
swear
like-
at home.
That'd be like if my daughter was playing with her toys in the other room, like playing like mom and child or whatever. And I hear her like, get the fuck in your room. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm just playing house.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, that came directly from you, Joe Dog, and I know that because my sister swears a lot, and one time my nephew dropped milk on the carpet, and he was probably 3, and all you heard was, "Oh fuck."
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's learned behavior, sir. You cannot be mad at your child.
it happens. A little, I thought you were gonna say, like the little kid, dropped the milk and then was like, Mexicans are lazy, and you're like, wow, why are you so racist? That's weird. And then he's like, I don't know, mommy says it all the time. I don't know.
Oh,
It's not
man.
me."
Imagine like you drop your kid off like with their grandparents and you're like your father always watches Fox News or something. So
Yeah.
your kid just has all these horribly racist views
Oh.
and you don't know where they're getting it
Boy.
from. They're just always saying this shit. And you're like, where does it? And in public, you're just like, it's not for me. I swear to God. Like, I don't know why my kid's saying this.
The kid keeps saying,
Yeah.
well, that's the narrative of the left. And you're like, what is that?
Grammy,
What the hell is that?
Grammy daycare is over at that point.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, you don't even know your left and right yet. But
You're in the car. The GPS is literally like, take the next left turn. The kid's like, no
way. Not at this day and age. And you're like, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah, it happens.
Well, with
Yeah.
that said, Petey, let's do one more official plug for the podcast.
All right. Well, catch all the stuff. A few new shirts going on, especially the No Ring North shirt. I mean, appreciate all the support from mine, but if you're going to buy one right now, buy that one. Goes to an immediate cause and puts more content in front of people. That's No Ring North from Death Proof there. You can get any of the merchandise that's floating behind my fat head on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, at PD Skills Show. I mean, watch my show too. It's it's a good watch, and I'd like to have you guys on one at a time, honestly, so that I could stretch the episodes out because I just want to maximize that. And
Have you
I
tried
think
to get
guys
any of these
all got
shirts on,
different stories to tell?
Have you tried to get any of these shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees just to
I can
get more
very
eyes on them?
easily do that if I wanted to basically go through the loopholes. Right now, I'm just kind of doing it this way. I want to see what the response is before further investment. The way I'm doing it right now allows.
Also, get more of the money.
Yeah, get money.
Yeah,
Get
Yeah,
money.
that's
more
the
of the
biggest thing. It just puts more eyes on it, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
on every
100%.
episode
And I
of
mean,
seasons.
right now, like I said, it's a small investment. And I mean, I'll still do it this way, even when I do a pro wrestling t-shirt. If you watch like Josh Alexander, the way he does things, he has a few for sale on Facebook or direct message, a few on pro wrestling tees, like here,
Yeah.
there. And
Yep.
a lot of people do that. Some of the guys like that Kyle do his stuff on Deathmatch. And then like Warhead's got No Ring North on pro wrestling tees on Deathmatch. Lots of plugs going out.
Yeah. I think also too, it's smart having the different options just because like obviously Pro Wrestling Tees is great for US citizens, but a lot of times in Canada,
100%.
even myself, I've ordered some shirts from Pro Wrestling Tees like to support like Brody Lee's family and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it does add a lot of unnecessary fees to getting your shirt. So if you can order it somewhere in the country for Canadian
Mhm.
listeners, it's
Unless
way
you're
better.
And that's
for
been good
workers
with
in
me
the
too.
US, it's good.
The turnaround time's been good. I mean, the orders, the shirts have only been out for a week, and the orders that have been in, I'd say about 90% of them have got tracking numbers already. So it's been really fast. The thing that they liked was the response, and like Pro Wrestling Tees is great. I'm not here to shit on anybody's thing, but I mean, being in Canada, the turnaround time can be a little bit lengthy, and that's the feedback I've gotten from some of the people I've already sent shirts, where they were surprised they got it so fast. So I mean, sometimes if you're willing to do a little more of the legwork, I mean, it's fast, put more money in your pocket. If you're more than capable, I mean, do it.
Awesome. All right, Petey, thanks a lot. Hey, stay on for a second. Hey, we're just gonna talk to you after.
All right.
Let's get the show on the road.